So I think the reason we are gathered today, and I'm only going to take less than 5 minutes, it's very late in the day. But first I'd like to thank all of you for making the time to join us and to stay here quite late. Now, capacity building conversation cannot happen without thinking about what is happening in the country and in Africa as a region on the whole, as far as infrastructure is concerned. There's a big infrastructure deficit across Africa, and governments don't have enough money. And that's why we have drawn the likes of banks in the room, pension funds in the room. There is no way infrastructure is going to be developed by government alone. There's just not enough money to do that. However, when we look at the big project pipeline we have in the country, there are all the roads that need to be done, the railways. But if you look at the projects that are being carried out in the country, there are lots of issues, not just with the financing, but also project delays, challenges. The other thing we have in the country is we don't have enough skill, local skill and capacity to develop the projects. And that's why we're seeing a lot of international players coming in, the Chinese, the Japanese, and you hear a lot of complaints by the locals, why are we not getting the jobs? But these projects are they're way too big to be handled by the kind of skill and capacity we have. And that is why, as a company, Howard Edebo, we decided to veer away from the consulting work that we do, advising clients, to also start capacity building programs. And the areas that we've chosen to focus on, which is where the big gap is in the country, PPP is one of them. PPP is a fairly new phenomenon. We're hearing it from the counties, from government, but most people don't really understand what is this PPPs. For PPPs to really be successful in the country, it is not going to be through international investors and international financiers coming in, but it will have to start with building knowledge base within the country for all the players that are involved to understand what is this PPP, what is the Kenya PPP Act, how does this really work, how do you manage the risks, which is an area where, especially the banks who carry quite a big risk when they finance these long-term projects come from. And to do that, we have partnered with the International Public-Private Partnerships Institute, which is a locally constituted company, of which previous speaker, Kihara, is one of the directors and one of the trainers that is carrying out a seminar this week. And they're offering the PPP course that is internationally benchmarked. It's based on a World Bank curriculum that is being used to run a lot of trainings across Africa and in other parts of the world. What we intend to do is run several courses. We're going to run the foundation course, which is what is happening this week. It's a 5-day course where the participants go through the entire process of PPPs, understanding the local legislation. And then we'll also run modules. We'll run modules on financial modeling, which is a special area for the financial people that are involved on projects. We'll run modules on the legal aspects. We'll run modules on stakeholder engagement. So that really is about PPPs. But the other area that we're also doing a lot of training on is project management and construction management. And to do that, we've partnered with the Engineers Board of Kenya, who have accredited some of the programs so that the capacity being built with the engineering fraternity, they can claim continuous professional development points. NCA has also approached us to look at developing some construction management courses for site supervisors. Borax, the Law Society has also accredited the PPP course. So what we are about really is supporting stakeholders in the industry to build capacity. And we'll encourage that, for the different players that are involved, to look at if you have an interest in these infrastructure projects, how can you set up your teams to get capacity developed. So I don't want to spend a lot of time, it's pretty late, but I just want to thank you all. And with those few remarks, I want to hand over back to Adolf.